He is originally, you know, he orange. If you've been already
It's Teè Leonie. Follow my socials, and if you feel the vibe, join Tea for the ride.
Hello guys, I hope you're all well. You're here today with your girl. It's Teè Leonie, and you're here today for Teè Talks. Now, if you're new here, I want to say hello and welcome to my channel. But if you're already part of the Tea team, then I want to say welcome back, Tea team. But in order to be part of Tea team, then you will need to like, you'll need to comment, subscribe, share, and also make sure you turn on the post notification bell below this video so that you never miss an upload with myself, and you're always notified when I do post, of which my posts are usually on a Tuesday for TeèTuesday, and also upon a Thursday like today for Teè Talks. If you have already been subscribed to me, then you would know that previously upon my other Teè Talks I have been exploring the mind, and within the mind I've been exploring reading, of which I've been doing reviews upon the books of which have affected me and have really impacted my life for the better in regards to financial and also mental aspects. And today I thought it would be very prominent of me to complete that with the 2 other books, of which would be my 5 top books that have impacted my life and that can change yours as well. So make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video. But also guys, if you haven't already seen those videos, you can go and check those out, and as you can see here in the drop down menu, they'll be right there, right up there, just there, and you can go and check those out. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to get straight into the video for you guys. 2 books of which I'll be reviewing for you today are by the names of Rich Dad Poor Dad by the man himself, Robert Kiyosaki, as well as Sarah Knight's The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Bleep. Now these 2 books have really impacted my life utterly for the best in regards to my mindset in relation to money and finances, expenses, and investing, as well as Sarah Knight's book, of which really impacted me in regards to my mentality and my priorities, and just really knowing how to strategically plan things. And I think it's really important that I share this with you, because I feel as though it could be something that you can empathize with, and it will resonate with you and maybe change your life for the better. Now we're going to start off with Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now Robert Kiyosaki is Hawaiian. He was brought up in America and he originates from Japan, and he is an author, he is also an investor, he's a multi-millionaire, and he was one of the main people who initially would have essentially delved within the market of real estate and ensuring to delve within assets, which is something that I'm going to get into within this book. Now you may be saying, okay, where exactly does this Rich Dad and Poor Dad come from? What is that all about? Well, you see, essentially Robert had 2 male figures in his life who may be deemed as mentors. Now one of them was his own dad, of which he deemed as the poor dad, and his friend's dad, of which was seen as the rich dad. Now Robert did attend a school of which the rich students and pupils would go to, whereby they would separate themselves from him because he didn't have the latest gadgets and all of these toys, and he didn't have everything that these advantaged children had. And he asked his father, why on earth am I not able to have these possessions and all of these things that they are having access to? Why aren't we rich? And his dad answered to him by saying, well, you see, you need to make sure you stay in school and you find a good job, someone to employ you, someone that you can work for. You are working to then become employed. And that was the answer of his dad. And the reason for why he would call his dad a poor dad was because his dad had a poor mindset in regards to the fact that he wasn't looking to ways to invest and to grow his money. He was just working for his money constantly in that rat race. And then he later on would have built himself into debt, because yes, he was making 6 figures due to the fact that he was a professor within the schools and the institutes, but then with that wage comes expenditure as well as liabilities. However, then you had his rich dad, which was his friend's dad, who taught him that you don't need to be going to school and getting this sort of education to be working for somebody. You want to educate yourself financially and learn about money, of which is not taught in the educational system, and then take that on to then buy businesses, to buy a business and to make it your own. That will be your own business, to invest within companies and many other things. And that is one of the main principles that I learned from this book, is that there's a difference between liabilities and assets. Now, you may even ask, you right there, actually, first of all, have you subscribed? Okay, good. Okay, back into the video. So, you may be asking, what on earth is a liability and what on earth is an asset? Now, you see, a liability is something that, for the average working class people, they get their wages and they choose to then spend their wages on cars, a house, things like that. They are liabilities, because they're things that are always going to need to be paid out for. And you're just spending money. It's always, credit card bills, all of these sorts of things you're having to put your money towards, and then you can get into deeper debt because you're then having to get a credit card to utilize, and you can't pay off the debt on that, and then you're getting loans, and it's an endless cycle. And then on top of that, you will be getting taxed, around 40 to 50%. You're getting taxed of your wage, and it's like, what on earth? So you're constantly in that field of that rat race, as I say. However, with an asset, that is something of which you can invest your money into, and it will grow your money. You can then create passive income streams, of which is where you'll be investing in real estate, for example. You can invest in stocks, you can invest in the foreign exchange market, of which I do myself, and that is where you can be buying and selling currencies, and there's so much liquidity in that market, and you're literally profiting. And that's the same thing that banks are doing with your money. But these are things that people aren't taught within the educational system, and I think it's so important and prominent of us to be learning this and educating ourselves. And that is what his rich dad taught him. You need to educate yourself on this, so then you will know how to then take your money and take that desire and ensure that you're investing it in the right things, which is very important. Now, another key principle is also in regards to the fact that with your assets, you need to make sure that, say for example, if you are a middle class and working person, that you do need to then learn to manage your risk and to know exactly what you are investing into, because they will generate more income than expenditure. It's very important that you're not investing in too many things, because then your money is going everywhere, especially if you don't have that much to invest to begin with. However, when you start off with a few assets, then you can then expand your money even more, and then that is when you can get into more fields and grow it even more. And another thing is that it's very important to be involved within these corporations, because of the fact that they are taxed less than a working class person. And this is because initially taxes were made by lower class people, which was for a way for them to take money from the rich in order to feed the poor. However, the rich then thought smartly and thought, you know what, we need to take from the working class and the middle class and give to the poor, so that they're not losing their money that they've worked so hard for, of which a working class person get their wage monthly, and they are taxed accordingly due to the federal income tax rate. You're getting a dividend, of which, if you don't know what a dividend is when, say for example, if you're investing within real estate, you invest, that money is then being held for quite a long time. It's like holding kind of like a trade, and you're investing that for a long time until eventually you start seeing the profit, and that is when you will get your dividend, and that will be an estimated amount that you'll always get every year, or for example. And now in this economical crisis, in this global crisis, this pandemic, the tax is going to go up. So that is a rough summary of Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now, I don't want to delve into it too much because, of course, you need to go and read it yourselves. It's such an amazing book. And, you know, there are a few quotes within there that do really stick with me. One of the main ones is in regards to the fact that the poor dad would say, I can't afford it. I won't be able to manifest this. However, the rich dad would say, well, how can I? It's always saying how. If you want to be ensuring that you're making money, then you will always find that how, and you will use your why in order to get there. You know, why don't I have this? How? That, and the next step is, oh, I can. You know, you can get there. You will get there. And it is very, very important that we start utilizing our assets, guys. Our assets are the best point of interest. Honestly, they make interest, they make money. So that's what you want. But yes, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you've made it all the way to the end, then please make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, as I said before, so you do not ever miss an upload with myself. As next week I will have an amazing cover for you guys for TeèTuesday, so make sure you stay tuned. But yes, guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you. I really hope you stay well and that you are blessed, and please enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, guys, because I'm only a tea away. So now it is tea out.